Greetings and salutations! This is Jason Silverain, and it's my pleasure today to bring you Karate Survivor by Alawar. Now, this was released in October 2024, and I've been putting off doing a video of this for a little while because there was a few things going on with the devs, and I wanted to see if this game would grow. It's a reasonably good auto-battler survivor game, with a wonderful kind of 80s action movie theme. They've recently introduced an endless mode, and the whole thing works as rather than picking up weapons, you develop martial arts moves of various different styles, which you can either chain together in sequential numbers for a damage boost, or have all of them of the same style. Now, I do feel like this game has a lot of growth potential that hasn't been acknowledged, and there was a little bit of a problem with bugs and just generally really bad balancing for quite some time. And the devs' response was not hopeful. At the time, there was a lot of people complaining they couldn't get one of the unlocks. And as you can see, I have many of the unlocks. And I like the fact that it explains what you need to do, has a little video of how it works. It's all really nice. And it does develop the game more and more, which is really fun. But there were certain styles where you have to essentially do a task before you can unlock these. And they just simply were not unlocking. Like, I've done this one, and it still hasn't unlocked. I'm just hoping that the recent bug fix will change that. Also, this one, Eruption, I think it was Eruption anyway. Or was it the one down here? It was one of them. It was one of the many martial arts moves that was the beginning of a chain. It requires you to do a very difficult task, which was poorly explained. And the discussion boards were completely full of people asking, how do I do this? What does this mean? What does this do? And again, the game is somewhat vague on certain details. It's certainly a lot clearer. Now, I'm not going to go through the tutorial today. I'm just going to quickly grab some more... Oops, not unlocks. I want upgrades. Yes, upgrades before I go in. As you can see, I've put about 16 hours in. I've nearly unlocked everything. I am about midway through on Master difficulty, which is basically hard difficulty rather before very hard. So let's increase my bleed damage. And even with the addition of the endless mode, which is really nice, there has been a bit of a backlash. There's still quite a few bugs, like this in window mode will forget your settings, and every time you reload the game it goes back to default settings. It's been like that for months now and they haven't changed it, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to just go in. These are the different locations you have. Sadly, they're okay. They're very typical sort of thing. And I love the pixel art. I will say that now. I absolutely love the pixel art. And the music's alright. It could do with a few more variations. But there's not that much difference between the areas, other than just recognizing what certain things are. There we go. Now, few things to explain. You see at the bottom, that is our essentially set of moves. Now, strike damage is nice. Crit damage is nice. That's actually really good. But leveling up that strike will increase my crit damage. And it's good to start leveling these early as they'll get better and better. Now, so our first move is a jab. When we unlock other moves, we can put them somewhere in this little film reel at the bottom. And that way, we can actually make our own fighting combo. Now, there's a few things I will say now. This is your only chap. Every time you start, you have a random move. And the more you unlock means more choice. I think it's affected by level. Which level you're on, which sort of early moves you get. So, I've unlocked some rerolls, but these are okay. And you see these arrows? That's the direction we will punch in. Or kick. Now, I'm going to keep with the 1-2, because this will not only give me a buff because it's a 1-2, it will also give me a combo bonus because it's both reds. Reds essentially have this area shockwave that builds up and gets bigger the more we have in order. Blues fire off like a beam. And the yellow, well, that has this effect where you hit enemies, this little skull appears above their head, and I think they take more damage. And with weaker enemies, if they have the skull above their head for a certain amount of time, or a certain amount of them, then they'll just drop dead after a while. Okay, I'm going to go with stretch. It actually looks really good. Both of those are kind of vital. I'm going to go with look 4 because normally it comes in 2s. And then we'll go for a longer range, but with the combo I currently have, thankfully, I have this shockwave. As we just move around. Now we have environmental items like that, which are just like one use, or some of them reset as well. And then we have throwables, which are good fun, or kickables. And there's all kind of things to sort of level up with those. However, let's go. Oh, that's 0.3. But XP. We'll go for the cheat. Yes. However, as you progress through the game, this is a really interesting gameplay loop. As when you first start the game, you have very few moves unlocked, you don't really have much impact, it takes a long time to kill even the basic enemies. It takes 2 or 3 hits. 400... You know what, I'm going to go for the guillotine. We're going to mix it up a little bit. I usually want to go to maybe 2 styles. And you will be wanting to use these items a lot. And again, imagine if you've leveled up your items ability a little bit. We're getting 1-hit kills, which is fantastic. And you want to be going full kind of Jackie Chan movie with this, and using all of the environmental things you can get your hands on. Oh, I just realised that kick's behind me. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to re-roll. All of these are terrible. I'm going to take the dodge chance. Dodge just basically gives you a chance of not taking any damage. Block just reduces the damage. And this chap here with the outlined rounder, he's a mini boss. I'll go into them again a bit more. But yes, as I was saying, gameplay loop. You start off your strikes not really being able to kill the basic guys, so you rely a lot on items. However, as you advance through the game, and you get the ability to level up your various skills and all that lot, your basic strikes will do more damage than items, and items' environmental objects become a trap, because on the harder difficulties you can still be struck while using them, and they put you in a really long animation. And the amount of times I have died trying to use items, or accidentally walking into them because I just got slightly too close, because the hitbox on them is really wide, and it will activate without you wanting it. There we go. Yeah, so you end up just trying not to use the environmental moves, which kind of sucks, because that's half the charm in the game. Yeah, this one's kind of messing me up. This is messing me up a little bit, so let's swap those round. So we have a 40 combo, 40 combo. And I would say there's, like, tactics of how you build your combos, but because it's so RNG, what moves you'll be given or offered... Oh, 20% strike rate, taking that. It's just making the best of what you get. Alright, so, other things to explain. We have our XP bar at the top there. Lovely thing, that. We get XP by collecting the money from defeating enemies, or breaking cash machines and similar things, or doing the mini-quests. There we go. I will take greed. Thank you. The teeth we are finding are for permanent unlocks, which is a relatively grim pickup, but I also find it kind of funny. There we go. No, there is another thing you should be aware when playing this. Even though we have all these different enemy types, and yes, most of them have unique sprites and the like. Ooh, I will go for drill. There we go, nice. As you progress, guys you were killing easily before will simply just have more XP and become more of a HP sink in later levels. It's sort of, their difficulty is done by the level. The fact I'm on the supermarket, I'm one-hit killing everything. If this was the subway, I'd be struggling to do combos. And you see, I was going nowhere near that, and it threw me into the room. Now, when you first start, these rooms are absolutely vital. Oh, that was terrible. Sometimes you get like 5 cards. That was absolutely terrible. There we go. Thank you. We take the gun and shoot you. Pew pew. And again, this would be one of the best things in the game. But later on, this damage isn't enough to take down even a single enemy. And it would be one of your only sources of healing as well, these rooms. Until you have good sources of luck, or you've built up your luck ability. Oh, both of those are good. If I get that, I will never need a pickup range again, but I think I'll take the 10% strike damage. Even though I am kind of almost one-hit killing everything, we're starting to get some enemies that we can't do that to. I hate these guys with the bottles. Anyone who has range attacks, really annoying. See what I mean? Come on. This is useless. And people have asked, hey, can we have an option we can unlock which lets us throw items sooner? Yee. Giving you the bird. But devs have ignored it. Let's reroll. I don't want any of those, really. I ideally want a red, but I'm not getting any of the reds. Which is annoying, but I'll upgrade Swallow. Thank you. Kick that open. Again, those are really hard to aim. But there's so many things I love about this game, and which is why I think it's disappointing that it probably fits a firmly 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 in terms of actual gameplay. There's a lot to unlock, but the actual gameplay loop is relatively repetitive. All of these guys are essentially HP sinks. Very few of them have actual individual attacks. They have some fun designs, and you can maybe occasionally see certain references to certain villains from films or video games. And I often feel like there's various other things that they could have done for this. Now, like, let's have an example. I think you could have had, like many Survivor-style games, different characters you can play. Now, this would be your basic chapter you start. Maybe you have a bonus that he gets a small bonus using items, you know, and weapons, because it's supposed to be like a Jackie Chan lookalike. But then you have, say, a Bruce Lee lookalike who is better with certain strike moves and starts with, you're guaranteed to start with the yellow style. You could have another character who gets a small minor bonus in something, who is guaranteed to start in the blue style, one that's guaranteed to start in the red style. And again, just tiny little bonuses they could have. And then you could start getting interesting with it. Because, again, the two ways you can build up damage with your combos is by having sequential numbers or having all of these of the same type. And even then, the sequential damage bonus seems to be tiny. What you should have is a character you can unlock who can have sequential numbers of each style, and those all work together as if they were all the same color. So that way you get a real mix, and then it really kind of gives you the feel of building your own combos, which would be really nice, because that's one of the things they market the game as, is like, build your own fighting style, when really it's like getting random Lego pieces and trying to figure out how to make it into a somewhat coherent build. Oh. Alright, so. Damn it. Not quite. Right, so, enemy types you get in the game. You get basic dudes who punch things. You get the big guys who charge things. The big guys who are going to walk up and slap you and have slightly larger reach. You get enemies that throw items at you. Again, most of which are either like the glass bottles as we saw earlier, but those later get upgraded into grenades. And then you get an enemy that throws knives at you as well, which is a bit more of a direct. It will hit you in a line if you're anywhere where the knives are. And then you get these wall enemies that are very difficult to kill until much later on in the game. Go. And usually you just have to force your way through. So yes, we'll take that. 12% extra critical strike chance. And if you want to see how I'm doing, we can just press escape. It brings up all of our stats so far. Now, some of these will start at like 20% or because I've unlocked things for them. But we've got a reasonably good critical strike chance. But not the highest damage I've ever had. I think the most damage I've ever had on a critical strike is somewhere around 200, 300. And again, loving the sprite work in this game. Just the environmental reactions, all that lot. Being able to jump over things. Just being able to use things. There we go, we grab this. What we're going to get today. Pick up range. I'll take it as a freebie. Squeaky hammer time. Yeah. There's also a habit I need to unlearn. Because you do kind of get awarded for exploring. There's always at least 2 quests on each map. They're relatively samey. There is either the old man, who drops loot when you punch him. He comes up very rarely. And I'm kind of glad that they've taken away the style that you needed to beat him in a particular... well, I say taken away the style. Taken away the unlock for a style where you had to beat him using piercing attacks. And that was the biggest cause of people asking, how the hell do I do a piercing attack? There is the fine 6 or 7 vinyls or VHS tapes. Basically the same quest, but just reskinned. So you roam the levels looking for them. Ooh, we have a mini-boss there, which will be absolutely lovely. I'll kick that. All of these are terrible. I'll take the dodge chance. Go. And you get the defended area quests, which are actually kind of fun, but it's a very small area and it's over very quickly. You either get driven out, or you can sometimes gimmick it by like just standing on the very corner of it and just keep hitting the enemies. And it could be full of enemies, but as long as you're stood in it long enough, it counts as defending the area. And it feels like you could have done more with it. Come on. Punch, punch. Let's have more strike damage. The key one was really good, but I'm already regenerating health really fast on this level, because these guys do next to no damage. There we go. There's a mini-boss guy. Don't tell me... Oh, yeah, I accidentally killed him? When did I kill him? Jeez. And I'm leaving so much XP behind. I need one of you guys to give me a luck upgrade. And then I can use it to get a thing. Ah, this is... All of these are bad. All of these are bad. Because weapons eventually just don't do enough damage. Environmental object range is kind of garbage. I mean, once you've got the upgrade on the unlocks, you will never need to get this power. Because things will fly across the screen anyway. So we'll take the damage. And even that is... a bit meh, because you'll be rarely using that to kill anything. Okay. I've recently unlocked the ability that this stuns, which is the most useful thing about it. But can you see I'm only doing 500 damage there? Ugh. Yeah, I'm not using guillotine again. It's not a good move. There we go. I managed to turn round just at the right time. But I'm kind of trapped in here. I'm not getting any good upgrades. I need ones that give me damage buffs. And this is the thing. This is the one thing that really gets me with this game is when you're playing survivor style games, the whole thrill is building up your build so you become somewhat ludicrous. However, there are so many kind of like meh, pointless minutia upgrades that don't really seem to do anything, or you'll get moves that are absolutely useless all the time for your sets of moves. You don't really get that satisfaction. Again, this is about £4.50. I think it's like £4. Actually, I think it's £4.29. It's something like that. I think it's a strange number. But I'd recommend it on sale if you like this style of game, because you will get a couple of good hours out of it. And there is fun to be had here. But it also lacks that sort of replayability and oomph that others in the genre have. Oh, and as you can see, as I'm leveling these up, you're starting to get a little fire and flame there. Our moves start getting special effects. Those do a little bit of extra damage. They look cool. 40%. 40%, but I want that strike range. 40%, we're taking it. We can't turn down 40% boost. Flimming out. To the damages. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to show off Golden Lotus. This lets you turn all your strikes into one combo and sequence for 10 seconds. It's a short-term buff. We don't really... short-term buff. We don't really get anything from it. Oh. I'm tripping over my own tongue today. But you get a little bit of the cool music there. Oh my god! Why am I getting so many level ups? Did I just leave that much XP lying around? That's awesome. But you'll usually get to about level 40, 45. After that, I think the XP needed becomes a bit awkward. You know, the weird thing is, I am all into playing characters and things that have more, like, passive buffs than, you know, active moves in games. I really like having passive buff characters, so I can focus on a handful of special moves they have. But for some reason, when it's played and put into this kind of genre, I'm finding it really kind of dull. Especially since I feel like there's no point me going after these environmental items, and sometimes they are awkward to activate. I mean, I could just walk around the same set of shelves if I really wanted. And I feel like I'd be getting the same effectiveness, if not more. Especially with the placing of a few of these. Okay, okay. You're going to all come after me, are you? Oh, wait, here we go. Get one of the power-ups. I do need them to get closer, though. I need the big mass of people, because this one is amusing. Oh, when you first find this, there's no explanation. Just a dropkick. It's fun. It's an upgrade. You can do it twice. Okay. That is now 220%. Nice. It's like, no, don't fade so quickly. Oh well, let's go grab the power-ups out of here. Please give me more than one. Yes! This is what I was expecting last time. And it levels up guillotine. Why does everything level up the move I don't care about? This just seems to be a thing with this game. I usually have at least one kind of duff move in my movesets, and that'll be the one that I get all the level buffs for. It drives me absolutely balmy. It really does. Oh. I mean, thankfully not as out off my head annoyance and just weirdness as I was when I was on that medication on one of my other videos. That was me going truly mad. But yeah, just that little fact of every time it tends to be just the one move I really don't want to bother leveling up, and could easily get rid of if you leveled up all my other moves. But no, I get like sunken cost fallacies, like, oh, so many of my level ups have gone into powering up this move, I can't possibly take it out of my combo now. Let's give you that. Oh, stop it. Alright. There we go. Satisfaction. Actually, there is one part of the story I really want to get to. But I don't have much time left in the level. Oh, and there's a mini-boss there. I really should focus on killing him, because once the boss arrives, all the enemies vanish. And the bosses! Yeah, I was going to wait till they appeared before I talked about them. Bosses are uninspiring. they're sort of based on like very traditional villains that you used to see in these kind of things. That's all of them though. That is all of them. All my attacks doing 10% more damage. Come on. But usually, the boss has a nasty melee attack, a nasty range attack, and a move that turns them invincible for a short period of time. What these moves are may ultimately be different between bosses, but they are practically the same experience each time. I believe that this one is like a big sort of Yakuza boss or bouncer sort of character. Kind of like the traditional bodyguard in a suit kind of thug. And he has splash damage. Yes! Let's upgrade Swallow. I'm getting hit a lot here. I should have gone for the chance. I should have gone for the crit chance, because that would have been amazing. Critical damage. Screw it. I'm not even going to go in for defense. Give me that food! Give me the... Yeah, I'm going to get killed trying to get that food. This is ridiculous. Stop it. Punch, punch. Yeah, guillotine's screwing me up here. And yet it's the one I keep getting all the upgrades for. Stop giving me upgrades for it. I just have to turn around mid-combo to get the most use out of it. There we go. I love being able to have the flip kick now. But look, it does like 80 damage. Because it doesn't, the damage doesn't level up with the rest of your moveset. Or abilities. There we go. This is the area of the store I wanted to get to. I have a baguette. Makes me happy. Give me bread. And I get to raid the cash machine. Also makes me money. Give me cash. Damn, the suit has arrived. There we go. Big aerial attack. Om nom nom. Om nom 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 nom. Om nom nom. Yep. Oh, now I want friggin' noodles. There we go. Kick that in the face. I was trying to go round that! I was going to kick it in his face. But, yeah, when you first start this game, you'll be doing next to no damage to them. And you'll be going around the store trying to basically find items to use on him. This time, I literally just killed him with the bleed damage. I don't even know which one of those moves was doing bleed. I could have sworn that... I mean, I think it's certain moves in the style have the chance of doing bleed. Again, the moves are really interesting. There's a lot of nuance between the moves. But end of the day, I use what I can get. And the fact there's no actual proper story to this, it's just... There's no cutscenes, there's no text, there's nothing. There's nothing to sort of keep you involved, other than the violence, which, as you can see, it's give or take. It can get a bit repetitive. So, I think I'm going to call it quits today. I'm going to do another video on this, just doing like the other levels. But if you just want a quick review of it today, this is the one for you. If you want to see more gameplay, I will hopefully see you next time.